Sonny TV Arsenal, we're live. Transfer update time. It's like having a little toy you can play with whenever you want. And I'll do another one. Do you know what? We've gone back to the future. We've gone back to spring 60s, Melvin. When you look like a teddy boy, you was dancing, pulling all the women at the Odeon. Yeah, well, let me introduce my guests tonight. I'm going to introduce a new special guest who's going to be a regular on the channel. Great football league, top basketball gooner. Wayne Howard. How you doing, Wayne? You good?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's good to be on the show. Not for the invitation.
Wayne, you know what? You found home now, bruv. This is where you are, and we're keeping you. This is the best transfer of the summer. We've got Kesh. Big up to yourself, Kesh.
What's up, man?
And we've got Melvin Marks, the man who knows everything about everything.
Evening, everybody. Yeah, fine, thanks.
Do you know what I was thinking? We're actually missing someone. We're missing Lev from Lavander's Lounge. You know, everyone is fashionably late nowadays. Let's go to you first, Wayne. But tell us about your Arsenal experience, bro. How long have you been supporting them, and why?
I've been supporting them since, well, a lot of people got the same story, but 89 was the time for me, man. You know, like...
Bro, how old was you in 89, bro?
Hey?
How old was you in 89?
How old was I in 89? That's a good question. I was about 14. About 14.
Yeah.
15.
You're still a youngster, man. You're still a youngster.
Yeah, man. Watching that, you know, that team with Rocky, Michael Thomas, them players, and then going to Anfield and doing what we did, that was it for me. You know, I mean, I'd played football in a youth from a young age, but I didn't really nail my colours 20 mast. I liked players, but I didn't really nail my colours 20 mast until about then. So yeah, since about 89, I've been an Arsenal man.
Bro, if you want to nail your colours to a mast, right, playing Sunday League football, try to play that Hackney Marsh in the Turkish League, bro. They'll nail it to the goalpost if it ain't go right. Just want to say a big hello to everyone in the comments. I want to say hello to the Arsenal Inside Out group in Sierra Leone, our Facebook partners, and also Gunner Social in I think you're in Nigeria, you guys, aren't you? Or you might be in Sierra Leone as well. Big hello to you lot as well. You're watching it live at the moment, guys. Do me a favour, please, if you don't mind, go back and onto YouTube later on and subscribe on YouTube, because there's a lot more content that you guys abroad are missing out on, and it's such a shame that you do. Because what I would like, ideally, I would like everyone from all around the globe to send me their videos on Arsenal and what they thought of the games, and also give us all your thoughts and come on the channel on the podcast, because it's, as long as you are supporters and I don't care where you are, you're all family to me. News, Arsenal news today. I think the most breaking news today really is if Wayne looks like he's in a boat now, so he's got his thumb around after the camera. You look like you've got a porthole here you're looking through, Wayne. The boat is sank, Titanic sank. Breaking news today. Party's off. The party's off. If your name is not down, you're not coming in. Sorry. You're not coming in, Kesh. You're a bit too big and scary for this age group of parties, Kesh. Right? Keep the over-18s ones. No, it's okay. Okay, you know what? And let me just put Wayne back in. Yeah, Wayne was like at a party. He went out to have a fag. He's come back in again, right? What I was saying, Wayne, is the party's over, right? I was about to come to Kesh now, right? You can't bake a cake, right? And only ice half of it, and put the hundreds of thousands and a little, and half of the birthday on it, right? Now, if Party doesn't come to Arsenal, we've got a great goal, like Polo. Kesh, give us your thoughts on it, bro. And if what do we need to do to get party in?
For me, like I'm not so fussed about it because before the party links came in, I was actually set on getting Samori before all that. But then when I saw that Newcastle had a bid accepted, I thought it was over. I thought he was going, but then he rejected him. He's a similar player to Partey. The only thing that Partey's got over him is that he's a lot more experienced. I feel with Partey, he can do the box-to-box role, but at the same time, he can slow the tempo down of the game. He can get on it and kind of like dictate the game a bit more than Samori. For me, if the club, they've obviously got their profiles and their targets that they're looking at. Every club got 1, 2, 3 target that they're targeting for the same position. And if you can't get one, then you're going to get the second best one. So I don't think we should be worried too much. If the links to Samori is real, then I'm glad that I'll gladly have him.
Can you tell us a bit about him? Because I've never heard of him, bro.
We was actually linked with him. The start of last season was linked with him. He's a French under 21 international. He is predominantly right-footed, but he's very good with his left. He does the box-to-box role. He's very fast. He's got a lot of power, but he's also got that intensity to work very hard and win the ball back. He does tend to do the defensive work as well. There's a few games last season where he played as the DM, so the man just sitting in front of the back four. And I feel that's a role that he could actually take on. What impressed me the most about him, he's actually got a lot of trickery to him. Like sometimes the way you see he just ghosts past certain players, and he can actually pick a pass out as well.
You know what?
Who's he play for?
Bakary Samori, he plays for Lille. You think he's 21?
You know what? A great insight on him, right? And the thing is, Jerome, our old friend Jerome, is over here at the moment, and he's just over Melvin's right hand shoulder, and he's in the other room, right? He's been a bit shy, he ain't coming all right. He's obviously eating dinner, which is very important. And you know what? I'm glad he didn't hear you giving that breakdown on that player, because he'll try and get you on the transfer express show, right? They'll hijack her. So if he comes in the room, don't talk about transfers, right? But if anyone hasn't followed the Transfer Express show, go and follow Kieran on KS1. And you know what? These guys are on point. And they know what they're talking about. And they do a lot of work. And really, boys, you should be giving us the scoop first, really, right? Because this is where you hatched, right? But excellent show. Do you want to run through a few comments? Wayne, if you're watching, bruv, keep trying to come in if you can, right? Because it's like 3 little pigs, mate. I think it's 3 little they huffed and puffed, and then the bear came in, or whatever it was, the wolf. What was that? Have I got my nursery one messed up?
It was a wolf. Yeah, I think it was a wolf.
It was a wolf, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I've sent Lev the right link, because I was in a rush, because it's not like him to not come in. Especially when he gave him a speech that saved my ass.
Oh, what's happened there? Telephonic interruptions. Bit of technical going on tonight.
Yeah, have you seen him? No, Samori.
No. He's decent, is he?
I think my heart was set on him last season.
Really?
Like, I think they wanted 30. So at this moment during the COVID time, I think we could probably get him for about 20 to 25.
Well, how old is he?
He is 21. I think he turns 22 soon.
Wow, that's a bonus, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And when you look at the whole thing and you break it down and you consider that Partey is 27 now. I think he turns 26, 28 soon. in about the next 2 months. If you offer him a 4-year contract, come the end of that contract, it could be the same Aubameyang situation again.
Can't sell him.
And then you can't sell him. There's no sell-on value.
Yeah.
So who are we talking about?
We're talking about the Partey.
Cool. So Wayne's popped in and out more times than a bloody horny bloody milkman.
I told you I'm having some technical issues over here, man.
bro, you know that. You know what, bro? That's normal because you know what? Arsenal been having issues in defence and the midfield for years. So you know you're in the right place, and you know what? Now we've got a defensive midfielder. I see CDM has joined us, right? We'll just give your views on Thomas Partey. Basically, you know, all window we've been hearing about Upamecano, right? Everyone's got really excited. Like everyone's been watching the stuff. You go and watch all the YouTube stuff, and all of a sudden you become an expert on him. Yeah, he says he's not coming. He goes and signs a contract. Then he goes to Thomas Partey. No one's heard of the geezer, right? But I don't really watch Spanish football. And to be honest with you, I've been so pissed off with Arsenal over the years that I've stopped watching any football, right? Unless it's Arsenal. You know, I've been doing a hex bettering. I've learned that so, right? Thomas Partey, was he the answer to our defensive CDM or box-to-box role? Or has Granit Xhaka improved that much, right? You don't need anyone around him.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I would never say that Granit Xhaka has improved that much where we don't need a player of the quality of Thomas Partey at all. I think that Granit Xhaka's he's improved a hell of a lot. I think what the biggest thing that he's improved on is his attitude, which is I think was what was letting him down. His indiscipline it was a liability for us for a long time. But I do commend him in what he's done over the last few months under Arteta. But I would still say that we definitely need a player in the mould of Thomas Partey. Whether Partey's the one, you know, there's a lot of talk about Arsenal not prepared to pay the release clause. Is it just a bit of a mind game? You know, at the end of the day, if we're looking to get rid of players like Ainsley Maitland-Niles for 20 mil plus, then I don't really see the problem with going and spending the money on Partey if we want him that badly. It's an area that we need to get quality in. We've been lacking in that area for a long time. Since Vieira went. We've never ever replaced Vieira. We've never, you know, we got close to it with Diaby. You know, and what a quality player he could have been if it wasn't for the injury. So I think if there's a deal to be done for Partey, we need to do it personally. And especially at the sort of price that they're talking about. We're not, you know, 45 million is not a lot of money for a player of his quality at all. Not in today's market, irrespective of coronavirus or not.
The only thing I take from this and the way the club's been going on about this transfer is he's gone after this. When the season starts, he's gonna have 1 year left. So I think they're looking at it as well. Obviously, I understand if a player's got a release clause, you just won't pay the release clause. But they're looking at it as maybe they can hard bargain and get them to knock 10 to 5 mil off. I think that's the way they're looking at it. The player clearly wants to leave because they've been trying to negotiate with him for quite a while now, and he's still not decided that he wants to stay. Also, Atletico's in a bit of a financial crisis right now where I think they've got a few debt that needs to be paid by December. So that's why they're saying, no, we want the 45 because it's not really helping them giving us a discount.
Melvin, yeah, Pete Dixon saying, there's quite a few people coming out saying that they didn't want Partey, right? I mean, what's your thoughts in? Because yeah, for me, like it was like, mate, once Partey's in the team, no one's past us. You know, it's like we got the human shield. And the geezer can score and he can play and he's a perfect footballer. All of a sudden he's dog shit, you know, because he ain't coming.
Listen, with Partey, I've only ever seen about 20 minutes of him play. He's got a fantastic reputation, but that doesn't always mean he's a great player when they come to England. You know, there are other alternatives. 45, we could probably race. We sell like half the teams. We could probably have half our team raise about 45, but 45 in this day and age is still a lot of money. If he was 22-3, I'd say it's a fantastic bargain because we'll have him for 8 years. Same as we've got our 2 centre halves now, hopefully, for 8 or 10 years. We've got Tierney, hopefully, for 8 or 10 years. I know you've got to have a couple of players short term fixes for a few years, but we want to try and keep that down to a minimal. If he is that good, he's 27, gets 3 years out of him. It's a lot of money. You won't get anything back for him when he's 31, probably. It's probably okay, but it's not guaranteed. I would like to see if there are players that are similar to him, a bit younger, sure, I'd love to do it. Because if we buy Partey, it could be fantastic. It might stop us getting that second midfielder, because I think we need to. Going back to Xhaka, as good as he's improved from a very, very low level. And even in the cup final against Chelsea, he gave the ball away in the first minute from a ridiculous position. So he has improved, Xhaka, but for me, he ain't the answer.
Definitely. Strong points. Sebin, I know you want to come on, bud, but the thing is, we're going to have to start doing things with structure now, yeah? So follow me on Twitter, and then if you want to come on, ask me beforehand, because you know what, if you're in the army now, brother, you can't just keep walking in and off camp and do what you want. We need to have some structure, and I need to see that you've actually subscribed, brother. If you haven't, then you pulled the wool over my eyes twice. Because you don't forget you're my Indian correspondent, brother. I've got big plans for you, right? So seriously, because I can't do it halfway through the stream, but follow me on Twitter, please, mate. I'll put up my Twitter later or my email, either one, and we'll get in contact with each other. We'll get you on the channel as regular. I appreciate it. Thank you. Big shout out to basically Zane, who's the major contributor to the channel. You know, apart from Miguel, who's doing it verbally, Zane does it financially, and I'd rather have the financial one than the verbal one, to be honest with you. No, I'm only joking, Miguel, just playing. Sonny, would you take Messi, and when you're doing the dance? Well, if we took Messi, I'll dance around White Hart Lane naked, right? I'll dance like White Hart Lane naked, and I'll be, I'll do it on a match day as well. They'll run for miles. Now, do you know what? I don't think Messi will fit into Arsenal. He won't be the same player.
He won't, Sonny. He won't come because he won't want to sit on the bench, will he?
He won't pay the tax. So at the end of the day, he won't pay the tax, will he? He won't pay the tax anyway. A player was dividing opinions, right? Is what's his name? Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Wayne, what's your thought on Maitland-Niles, bro?
I like him. I like his versatility. It's going to be the same old criticism.
Do me a favour. Can you turn the volume down on the other device, please, bro?
Yeah. I'm going to move away from that now, anyway. Yeah, I like his versatility. But he still hasn't nailed down a real position. Jack of all trades, master of none. I think that's probably going to scupper his career, really, to be honest with you. But if he's prepared to stay and be a squad player, I'd keep him all day long. But he's just not going to be. He's never going to be in the first 11. There's always talk about he wants to play in the midfield. Is he good enough to play in Arsenal's midfield? I don't think so. So unless he's prepared to stay, be a squad player, fill in at right wing back or left wing back whenever he's needed, then fair enough, I'd keep him. But if we can go and get rid of him and get 20 plus for him, I'll take the dough.
Melvin, what do you think? I mean, I actually agree with Wayne.
The position we're in, we can only sell certain players. And if we can get a price for him, same as Lacazette, really, in that situation, wouldn't mind keeping him. But if we can get 25, 30 million for him and Ainsley, then that's 50 mil. That's your Partey money, isn't it? So it's not a bad deal, is it? We can't keep everybody, can we? We got to sell at the end of the day. You can only sell what people want.
Kesh.
For me, it all comes down to Arteta. They must have had a discussion and decided that he's not going to be a loss to the team. We all know he's not going to be a loss. I like his versatility. I like to have some sort of player like that around the squad. He can come in and do a job whenever we need someone to play right back, left back, and can actually do it to a good standard. But as my fellow friend here, Wayne, said, he's just a jack of all trade and he wouldn't be missed. And we need the money. The thing is, I understand some of the fans complaining about it's a bit low. Me myself was looking at the 25 to 30 mil region. But we have to understand during the COVID, he's not exactly a first team starter. And just because he's had a few games towards lockdown where he's been consistent, doesn't mean his value just rockets up sky high. You have to understand that he's been poor for like before lockdown, so everything adds up, and teams are going to be looking at that and everything. So can't really complain.
Go on, Melvin, go on.
Sorry to interrupt. You know something? Jerome told me this day we were discussing it. He said,
"Is it secret? Is it secret?
No.
Is he going to get into trouble for it?
No. No.
Is he one of your sources? Is he one of your sources?
Okay, sources. No. One of the things that we mentioned. He says, what would be his price, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, before the lockdown? It'd have been 10, 15, wouldn't it? It's only on a couple of performances. So if we can get 20, 20-ish, that ain't too bad.
Well, he put in decent performances when we really needed it against City in the semi-final, Chelsea in the final, which has basically boosted his price for us. So exactly. I think that we need to capitalise on that. I mean, because prior to that, there was rumours that he'd fallen out with Arteta, his attitude weren't right in training, and that kind of turnout. So, he put in some good performances towards the back end of the season. So it might work out for both parties. If we can get good dough for him.
Is that a party? Is that another one?
There's 3 parties.
and
he can go somewhere and get regular first team football, then everybody's happy, aren't they?
You know what? If Wayne ain't going to a party, right? Because this kid's popular, he does his own, drives the neighbours mad, right? I don't get invited to anywhere no more. Right? You know what? For me, he's got to go, no doubt about it, right? As far as I'm concerned, Arsenal fans. Sentiment. There we are, but no place sentiment. We finished 8th. We've been shit for the last few years, going back the last 14, 15, 16 years, right? And you know what? I'm sick of watching the Liverpools and the Cities compete for the title, right? Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I don't care if his mum gave birth on a centre circle, right? And he was born at the Emirates or Ivory or whatever. Don't care. I don't care if he's come from a youth system or not. I don't care where they come from. I don't care. Right? So far as I'm concerned, I'm not giving Ainsley Maitland-Niles another chance just because he had 3 good games. Right? not for me. For me, he switches off. He's too lethargic. He don't concentrate. No, not for me. If you get 30 million for him, sell him. Arsenal needs to start getting value for their English players though, because we let our players go too cheaply.
It's hard to do that though, Sonny, when your team ain't exactly doing great. You know what I mean? You have to think. Say for instance Liverpool selling Solanke for 20, it's because they was on the upwards rise.
Yeah, but where's Solanke? Where's Solanke though? Solanke was still sitting in the coach when they're not playing.
Of course, but you can demand that though when you're that club going up. You can demand that for your youth players. When you're Arsenal and you've not been doing great, like. You can't really demand those things. And then what you have to understand is clubs are going to understand. Clubs are going to look at Arsenal and know that they want to sell players so they can add quality to their team. So they know we're desperate to sell certain players to make money. So they're going to lowball and say, listen, here's a little 15, which is why Wolves are offered that. So now when they come in for a second bid now, they can say, here you go, maybe a little 15 with an add-on depending on how he does at our club. That's the way it works.
For me, the problem is, when Arsenal buy players, right, it's like taxis. It's like buses, shall I say, right? They don't buy no one. And then they go and buy 3 in the same position. Like, for instance, we never had a left-footed centre-back. Now we've got 3.
We got two.
Well, David Luiz.
He's right-footed.
Listen, David Luiz is left-footed and he's forgot, right? And that's why he's so shit. He's been doing his left. If you like foot, I'll stay corrected. And if it is just Pablo Mari and what's the name? Gabriel. Welcome to Arsenal, Gabriel. Because obviously this Gabriel's quite sought after. So that could be a big move. We could now have a centre back pairing, which is, I don't care if they're young. If you're good enough, you're old enough. I don't care, right? So I think defence is sorted. Right, if Bellingham's going there, right? What
do you believe that? Do you believe that, Sonny?
No, not Bellingham. Sorry, we'll come to Bellingham. If Ainsley's going and Roma are now interested in Bellingham, would you sell him, guys?
I'll sell both of them.
What's Bellerin's price? That's what I said, 25 million?
25, 30, yeah.
30, yeah. He definitely goes for that.
Yeah.
He just Bellerin has not progressed in all the years that he's been at Arsenal. And that injury that he's just come back from has taken away the main attribute that he's always had, which was that burst of pace. He's now lost a yard, 2 yards of pace. So Bellerin without the pace is absolutely no good to anybody. Seriously. You know, how often does he ever get behind the opposing fullback? How often is his final ball on point? I don't remember the last time seeing Bellerin assist a goal. You know? So for me, if we can, like you said, if we can go and get good money for him, let's get rid. I mean, Suarez played the other night, and I know it was only a friendly against MK Dons, but in that first half, he showed enough for me in the final third of the pitch that he should start ahead of Bellerin in every game. Personally,
well, he scored in the league game, he played, didn't he? One before last. You know, the geezer is a cup winner. They won the not Europa League.
The Euros.
Euros, yeah.
What I like about him, Cedric, is he can actually cross a ball, decent cross. And that we've only got it from the left-hand side. You have it coming from both sides. It gives everyone a chance, doesn't it? So I'm very happy to keep him. I think he's lively and all.
That's the balance that
this is what Liverpool have got. Liverpool have got that, ain't they, Mel? Liverpool have got two fullbacks that whip the ball in from both sides. Yeah, their forwards are loving it. The service that they get is unbelievable. Hence the reason why they scored so many goals. We haven't had that for a long, long time. So in those areas of the pitch, this is where we need to improve. Now, Kieran Tierney, the geezer's superb. He's probably been our best signing in a long, long time. And he's a sort of player that we've been crying out for years. He's got that British mentality that never say die. He's rollicking players that he's only been at the club 2 minutes, and you see him rollicking players on the pitch. Love that attitude. So if we can get the balance on the right hand side of the pitch from the fullback area, we'll be going in the right direction.
I totally agree with you. Thing is, right, Bellerin for me, I think it was very unfair with Bellerin, no way, and I'll tell you why, right? He has improved. He can overlock now, he can do a cross stitch now as well, right? And if you're short like me and you need your trousers taken up, great person to go to, right?
Me and you both, mate. Me and you both.
Yeah. You know, if he's going to Rome, you know, go see the Pope, do what you got to do, go to Fashion Week in Milan, you know, live your life. See you later. For me, he's got to go to. Right.
Go plant a few trees,
Yeah. So right, let's switch over to the other side. So basically, we'll get Max Aarons. I say if Bellerin win, go put down 30 million, go get Max Aarons. That's that done, right?
You won't have to do that, Sonny. You won't have to do that.
Why not? We've got Cedric there, but now Cedric needs backup. If Mate Knowles goes, Cedric needs backup as well, right? Zane, I just want to read out Zane's super chat. Zane, thanks very much, bro. Sonny, do you think we should have gone for Chilwell? I think he's overpriced. Maguire part 2, but not in prison. Apparently, Maguire's been let go. Maguire's actually lucky he was in Greece, not in Turkey. Right? Yeah. He would have been another Midnight Express, right? And he would have had a high-pitched voice by the end of it, right? You know? And there would be no escape, Maguire. You know, different over there. Before everyone says I'm racist, I'm Turkish, by the way. For me, Chilwell, overpriced for me.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm envious. Not because it's Chilwell, because I think it's not that great. But obviously Chelsea are shopping in a different shop, aren't they?
Yeah, they're back in Spenders again, aren't they?
Yeah. What's that, Melvin?
If it's 50 million, Chilwell, what's Robertson and Liverpool worth then?
It's actually more than 50 mil.
Of course it is. It's got to be.
Yeah, we're going to come on to Lacazette, right? But now I just want to go to the other side of the pitch. So we're going to start with Cedric, right? And you've now got in front of him a very hit and miss Nicolas Pepe, right? Hit and miss. You know, again, you know, I might trigger a lot of you lot now, right? Because basically I say it as I see it, right? And I don't give people time, you know. Juries and judges give people time. I don't give people time, right? I don't like that concept. I don't like the word, right? Pepe for me, it's been proved now that Raul has gone out and fucked us all over, and basically, Pepe is a sexy Johnny Jensen. You know, he's the one who's been used to line people's pockets, right? He's got a lot of tricks, but it's ain't a circus, right? And half the time, don't take the ball with him. Am I being too hard on him?
I think you are.
I think you're being too harsh, way too harsh. If you look at the likes of, say, for instance, Man City signed Rodri, he's not exactly come in and pulled up trees.
No, I thought that's like Rodri, shut up, never mind Rodri.
I think you will see a better player come next season. Like, it's not all the time players going to come and hit it off straight away. Like, you had the likes of Salah, who came to the Prem, and it was a bit of a culture shock for him at first. And the second time he's returned, under a good manager who's got patience with him and actually going to teach him his rope and give him good instructions. Yeah. And you see a much better player now.
All about the coaching. All about the coaching.
I feel it comes down to coaching. And you saw during the second half of lockdown, you can see that Arteta's kind of getting through to him slowly. And the other thing is, when we just talk about Bellerin, when you got someone like Bellerin who's not offering overlaps, and then you're there stuck having to beat two men because their winger and their fullback, the opponent's fullback, is doubling up on you, it then become a hard job for you to produce what we know. He's got talent, what his ability can do. It becomes a hard job. So that's where you need someone who's going to actually complement him over that side.
Right, if that's the case, why is he playing right on the right hand side when he's left footed? Wouldn't he be better off playing on the left hand side? Wouldn't he give Arsenal more of an option by whipping the ball in? Because the guy has shown he can cross the ball. Yeah, Uber scored last couple times of him.
But he's an inside forward. That's the thing. Like, this is modern football. Yeah, you ain't got out and out wingers nowadays. You've got inside forwards where you want him to be facing up 1-on-1, 1v1 versus a man, skin him, and then do what you did.
But that's the problem. Kesh, that's the problem. I know you play football at quite a good level, Buff, right? But the thing is, this he's not one-on-one, because what he's doing, if you're in his position, the first thing you're going to do, because he's left-footed, is going to come inside. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, what's he doing? He's coming into traffic, right? He's coming into traffic. So the defender always knows that guy is going to always come inside. So basically, he's gone. He's gone. You see him trying to take on three players, and you can't do that, right? This ain't France. You can't take on three players.
Sonny. When it comes to that now, if you got someone who's overlapping now, he doesn't always have to take the ball with him. He can go inside and then quickly play it out wide to the overlap and run, which then gives the fullback to put across it. But that option's not there for him. So he end up trying to overdo it. That's why he overdoes the play sometimes.
Kesh, a couple of things though. Number one, he doesn't get the ball, Pepe, very often when he's on the run. He gets it from a standing start position, which is not good for him. And he also gets it with his back to the goal, which is not good for him. And they play him too near the touchline. If he comes in a yard or two, he's got two options. He can go outside. Yeah. We've seen him do it. But he plays within 6 inches of the touchline, and it's easier for the defender, just knocks him off.
You know what, Melvin? I think you've been too kind. He's a footballer without you've been too kind, bruv. You know what? He's a footballer without a brain, Melvin, right? He ain't got a brain, Pepe, right? I'll tell you why he ain't got a brain. He's not lacking confidence because he turned around and said, I am better than any defender I'm going to face. It's not confidence. The kid's got confidence, right? You know, he'll walk around the showers with no clothes on in the dressing room. Like on the first day, he wouldn't care, right? He's got confidence, geezer, right? But on the football pitch, right, he ain't. Because the problem is, compare his runs, right, to a Theo Walcott, who wasn't as blessed as him. Theo Walcott, you said, make him runs, bang on every time. Freddie Lundberg, again, right? That was the type of run they made. And it was always that slide ball through and the finish.
I will agree with you on that. Well,
you bet, it's my channel. If you don't, I'll be off.
He runs about the ball, but that's what I'm saying. It all comes down to it being a different sort of gameplay from France. And as I'm saying, you can notice the difference. You can notice Arteta has been working on things with him since lockdown. Because even during games where he's teamed him up with, say, for instance, Maitland-Niles, you see a much better Pepe out there compared to what you've seen with Bellerin.
When?
I think I understand what you think right now, but I feel you still have to give him the benefit of the doubt going into the second season.
I think we need to just give him a chance. I think he needs to be given a chance. I think that he needs a full season under Arteta. He needs a good pre-season with us. I think that from the minute the team starts performing on a better level with better players, you'll see a better Pepe. You got to remember that he was brought in under the Emery regime, which we all know that from the start of last season was an absolute shambles. So you brought in a player that was already under pressure from a 72 million price tag. He's come into a struggling side under a manager that was really struggling as well. Then he lost that manager, got another interim manager, then he went, and then he had another one. So I think he just needs to be given time. Give the kid time. He's clearly got outstanding ability. And I just think that with the right coaching, he'll get there. I'm 100% I'm convinced of that. And I think that what you're saying, Sonny, what you're saying about him on the right-hand side, the beauty is that with the system that we're going to play and with Arteta, those players they're going to be interchangeable. They're going to be interchangeable. The front three will be interchangeable, and there'll be times where he goes out on the left-hand side and whips crosses in, and there's going to be times when he's on the right. So that's the beauty of having a player of that quality as well. So I just think if we need to be patient. Yeah, we can all go over the years and say when Henry came, it took him X amount of time to settle. When Bergkamp came, it took him 10 games to score. There's a long list of players that have come abroad, and it's taken them a bit of a time to settle. And I think he's one of those.
I think also,
go on, Kish.
Also, what to take in consideration is we never had no creative outlet from our midfield. And when you're a player of Pepe's ability, always trying to take the game out of the scruff of the neck, it's not always going to work for you. Because sometimes it seems like it's just you trying to do everything all on your own. And football's not just a game of just one player. It's 11 v 11.
Depends how good you are, Kish, right? Try say that to Messi, Ronaldo, or to me. You know?
They're phenomenals, mate. You can't even. They don't even come into this.
Levels, man. Levels.
Although my problem with him, I'll tell you what my problem with him, right? If I'll take everything you said on board, right? Because it is his first season. Right? And it's a completely different league to obviously to France. You know, different pace of the game and everything else. Better defenders, the rest of it. Yeah, I accept all that. But the thing is, you know, what I don't like, which makes me question him, is Emery didn't play him because he weren't training right. Then Lundberg didn't play him, and then Wassane didn't play him. Then Arteta didn't play him in the first coming. So that's what makes me question him. Is he too good in his own head? Like someone like Guendouzi, he thinks he's made it.
I think he just knows how good he is, Sonny. I think he knows the potential and the ability that he's got within himself. Yeah, and I think that's what it is. And you know, a lot of people watch the YouTube reels and the highlight reels from last season in France, and he was unbelievable. He was unplayable for most of the season. Yeah, he's come to a different standard of football. He's come to a different level of football, and a lot of people expected him to hit the ground running. It was never going to happen. If you know football and you know players, yeah, you know full well that he was never going to come in and hit the ground running, especially not in a struggling Arsenal team.
Do you know what? The pace and power of how he was in fight is completely different. I'll say one thing what he's going to help him. I'm going to come to say sit down in a second. One thing what he's going to help him is exactly what you guys have said regarding interchange of three. And that's where I think Willian is going to play a major part, right? Because obviously he could play the number 10 role. He could play on the left. He could play on the right. And when they switch over halfway through, it gives the defenders an extra thing to row about. I just want to read out this super chat. Sonny, do you think we should have gone for Chilwell? No, Sochi or fuck you, all right? We're done that one. Let's still stay in the midfield, right? Let's go as we go along, guys. Joe Willock, dead food or potential?
He played last night. They played him second half at right back.
Mate, you know what? Elneny scored from 50 yards there. He's not Zidane, though, is he?
About him. No. Elneny. You know what? He made a forward pass. That goal he scores, the only time he must have played the ball forward last night. And I'll tell you something as well. If that had been a proper game last night, it'd have been booked 28 times. He could not do anything but keep fouling. He was so off the mark, it was ridiculous. No, not for me.
Ridiculous.
He makes Kolasinac look positive the way he plays football.
Yeah, actually, we forgot him. Right. You know what? We'll come on to him. Look, Joe, we'll leave you alone, Joe, because at the end of the day, you are one of our own. We'll leave you alone, right? We'll come to you next week, Joe, right?
Joe's getting a squeeze tonight, boy. I'm ready for Joe. I was ready for Joe.
Joe, but if you're going out, hit me up, yeah? Let's go to Kolasinac, right? Let's go to Kolasinac. He came in as a tank. He's leaving as a three-wheel van, right? Yeah, what's happened to Geezer?
I think he's lost a bit of confidence, to be honest with you. He don't know what it is to go forward. He just gets the ball. His first instinct is backwards. It does my head in. It does my head in. As I said before, he should actually face his own goal for 90 minutes, save him a lot of time twisting round. Because that is the way he plays. Sorry, not for me.
How much can we get for him? How much can we get?
Not a lot, because he's on big wages like the rest of them. He's probably get a tenner if we're lucky.
That's the problem. The wages. What is he on? 110?
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard to shift him as well. Of the wages. Apparently, Schalke is offered to pay 2.5 mil for a loan. Bearing in mind his contract over the year, I think they said it's like 8 mil or something like that. Like, I just don't know. But then again, we got him on a free. So if you need to take the L and just take a quick 10 for him, then you just take it.
You know what? This is a really fantastic point that you just highlighted, right, you guys? You get a player on a free transfer, right? And you know what? You give him all his wages, right? They've done the same thing with Willian, right? Because you think, I saved on the fee, I'll give it to the player, keep him happy, right? And when you work it out over the course of the contract he's going to be on, it's actually it's been cheap as chips, right, for you, right? So it looks like it's costing you a lot of money, right? But he actually ain't. The problem is if he hasn't performed, right? If he hasn't performed, that's when we've got the issue.
Yeah.
Right. And again, if you are overpaying them, I know the financial fair play isn't an issue at the moment. To be honest with you, Arsenal fans, it never was, right? It only was Arsenal Wenger to hide behind and the quantities. It met their agenda, but it never was an issue because everyone else thinks that's it. But Arsenal, politically correct Arsenal, we have to do everything right. We are Arsenal. We do it a certain way. All you've done is touch yourself over, right? Sorry, side I get aggravated, right? Where was we? Yeah. So Kolasinac, they can't offload him now. The same thing with Mkhitaryan. The same thing with, I know we bought El Neni cheap price, but again, another player can't shift because their wages are too expensive.
You missed Mustafi out, Sonny. Mustafi as well.
He's
out till October anyway, so I doubt we're going to get him off anyway.
You know what? If we get rid of Holding, which I've never rated, to be honest with you, the saying last season, let's wait till Holding, Bellerin and Tierney come in, right? Or is it this season? It's this season, isn't it?
This season.
It used to drive him out the fucking wall, right? Yeah, Wayne, you know when I called out Emily to go? We just about beat Villa when we went down. When we went down the game in Emirates, remember after Watford draw, and we then drew against Wolves at the Emirates, and I went in to go in. I just saw it. Nothing was going to improve. I didn't forgive him for the previous season, right? And I thought, no, this geezer ain't for us, right? And everyone coped with me, and they also coped with me because I said Lucas Torreira wasn't good enough either, which is a player we're going to come to now as well, right? Lucas Torreira, does he go down in folklore because he scored against Spurs? We'll come to this point by Sean after that. Go on, guys. Lucas Torreira, any good or not?
I like him. I'm not sure that he's the answer to what we need in the midfield. I don't think he's ever done anything wrong in an Arsenal shirt, if the truth be told. You know what you're going to get from him. He's tenacious. He's going to put tackles in. He's probably going to get booked after about 10 minutes. But I'm not sure that he's the answer for in the midfield for us, to be honest.
You're right, because at the end of the day, Jack Russell is tenacious, right? But he ain't going to win Crufts, is it? At the end of the day, no. Jack Russell, he ain't going to win Crufts. So he's not sexy. It's not the right one. It's not the right fit. You know, you want to say we're a better pedigree, not someone who's just brought up in Uruguay playing in the cage. Sorry, it's not going to work for me.
But that's where it comes down to. Well, he's gone now, Sonny, but that's where it comes down to working with your manager and actually finding what the manager wants. Like, it doesn't have to be the manager's first choice target, but it needs to be in the profile that he's looking for. Otherwise, it all goes to shit. Because now you've got a player who basically not needed.
Yeah. I mean, there was talk of a swap between him and was it Diawara at Roma, who would probably be a better fit for us in terms of his physical attributes. He would probably suit us a hell of a lot more than what Torreira does. So if that deal is still, if there's any potential to get that deal done, I think that's something that we should potentially look at. And it might also go some way to saving us spending 50 million on Partey. Who knows? But I just think that it's a deal that we need to explore if there's any potential in getting it done.
I'll swap him with a cone, bruv. I'll swap him with a cone. You know, and I'll stick that cone right in the middle of the 18-yard box and the centre circle. And I'll say to the cone, stay there, cone. And that cone will stop more than Lucas Fair would have done. Right?
The guy's talented, Sonny. There's no doubt about it. He is talented, but he's physically big enough. But
listen, the ball's on the floor. The ball's on the floor. It's a non-contact sport. Where does physical attributes come into it when it comes to you don't get that shoulder barge off the ball no more. It's a non-contact. It's netball.
No, you're wrong. He gets knocked all over the place in the game every time. Every time he gets the ball, gets tackled, he's on the floor. He doesn't go on the floor. They push him on the floor.
He starts on the floor. He's on Mustafi. He's tackling with his head on the floor. He done it as soon as he came in.
Yeah, he's got studs in his ears. That's why he tackles with his head on the floor.
For me, he's the sort of player that will relish in a Simeone team. Like, he will tear up trees in that Simeone team.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what?
Kesh, that's a great shout. It's an absolutely great shout, that is. He is tailor-made for that side. Mm-hmm. He'll run all day. He'll kick people up in the air. He'll do exactly as Simeone wants. It's a great shout, mate.
I disagree. You know what? Who's that player? Gattuso. We have the beard.
He's now Napoli manager.
Yeah. That was a player in that mould, small. Gattuso is not. He's not.
He had a little bit. He was a little bit more imposing in terms of physique, though. Gattuso. He was built.
Yeah.
Torreira's not really got any sort of. He's got no stature. He's got nothing. You know.
For me, look, a midfield, and people are going to say that the 23-game run. Do me a favour, 23-game run when we was getting mullered like for possession. We was getting shots off the post, shots off the bar. Leno was saving like it was he had about 25 balls coming at him. It was not that impressive, right? Especially when we didn't play no one in it, right? You know, we played Spurs and Liverpool, and that was it, right?
Do me a favour, take that thing off, that banner off. I don't like that negative things for being on for so long.
Yeah, get rid of that.
I'm going to come back to that. Though. What was I saying? So basically, the 22-game run weren't all that. I don't know. So Torreira and Xhaka for me, even though it works in one game against Liverpool, when we had them at the Emirates, right? I don't think they were that special. They weren't that special. And then all of a sudden, Guendouzi comes in, fucking hit me with the head and shoulders advert, right? A cartoon character, runs around like Dougal the dog, right? And he was the one who was in the midfield. And I said at the time, not one of these, all the midfielders together, including Ozil in that as well, Chapman in the rubbish as well, are good enough to be an Arsenal midfield. So, what is the answer moving forward? What is the answer? Because if we go to a new season, and our midfield is Joe Willock Even if it's Ceballos and Jack up, we've got issues, mate. I'm saying we've got issues.
What about El Neni, the great El Neni? You've got to have him in it.
I don't think they'll do that.
I hope not.
Well, you know what? You're going to be actually shot. I don't feel El Neni's a bad player because El Neni was a Ray Wilton, mate. It was a crab. He played it sideways, but he's got that wonder goal against Barcelona once, didn't he?
Mate. Wait, see
that's all I can say to that, man.
During that game, he was just running like an endless chicken and just leaving just a gap in midfield. Like, if that was a better opposition, we would have got killed in that game. There's no way this guy can still remain at this club.
Do you know what he was, right? He was a shit video game which only went side to side. That's what he was. Whenever I had the PlayStation 4, and you know you're not that loading, your parents go and buy you that shit video game, right? They buy the whatever it's called, right? He's that. One guy only goes side to side. That's what he is, right? Yeah, and if a certain team in Turkey don't take him, they'll take anyone. You know, they'll take anyone. They'll take anyone wherever they want to go, whether it's by plane, by back of a van, on a boat. They'll take you, right? They'll take you wherever you want to go, right? And that's what they should do with El Neni, right? Lose his passport in Turkey, please, right? We're gonna go into attack. We're gonna go into attack, and one player who I'm not going to give any rest to at all. But before we go into attack, I just want to go into this quote that we just took down, and I think it's you're just doing that for attention. That quote, I can't agree with that. Let me just see it. Let me see where it was. I can't find it, but I think it's saying like
they're doing Arteta only at the club for money, apparently.
Only a couple of money and they're not getting transfers in.
What a load of rubbish.
What is it, this one? I'll tell you, and they do. I'm just here for the money, and that's why we are buying players. We're buying players fees. We are buying players because you know we've brought in a centre back which we needed. Willian ain't a bad player. He's not a player I work for, but he's free. And it's still a long time to go to the window. And if Aubameyang re-signs, and if we get rid of the Deadwood and Lacazette is shit, I can't see how we've had a bad window.
No,
you know,
not at all. I think that
the window ain't just started. It goes on till next year. This window, then it's coming.
That is an issue for us. That also is an issue. We need to get our business done early. You know. We need to get this done early.
We have to understand it's not just us that's struggling to do things. Like,
but they're betting us. Everyone else is betting us, bro. And they're already settled.
I do understand that, but the same thing applies for everyone, though. Like, it's not even just Arsenal fans that's getting a bit annoyed with the slow dealings.
Yeah, man, you ain't getting no one, are you?
So it's a thing where a lot of clubs want to sell before they can free up funds. And I do feel we will get one more player in just before our first game. But then again, you have to understand, wherever these players are coming from, they might have to quarantine as well for 14 days. So Definitely. It's all a bit of a mess right now.
Which is what Gabriel's having to do at the moment.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Kesh, it's all right going, we're going to spend 70 million on 3 players, but we don't know what we can raise. That's the problem. It's a bit of a catch-22, isn't it?
Yeah.
The timing's got to be right as well. This player's got to be available when we've actually sold someone to get the money to pay them.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I do like. Right? We don't know what we can raise, which means we don't know our club. Because we don't know what this club have got behind them and who they're buying, right? And I'll tell you something, our opposition definitely don't know either, right? Because I don't care, the Pepe deal is 70 million, whichever way you look at it, even if you pay over 50 years, it's still 70 million quid, right? And if they're clear enough to structure a deal the right way, you know, I think it's good business, you know. And obviously, if you're decent, his value would go up. So that 72 million would actually look cheap in 3 years' time. But you know, Arsenal, we don't work that way. That was it. Would any of you? Well, Dave, firstly, Dave, you're drunk, bruv. Seriously, you're drunk. do you know what the definition of a great player is, bruv? Ainsley Maitland-Niles great. He's never even had a great game, never mind calling him a great player. Don't be silly, man. He's had a good game. He's not even had a great game. He's not Cafu. He's not Roberto Carlos all of a sudden. No, that's over exaggerating.
But you know, Sonny, you know yourself that whole phrase gets so overused these days. Great player, great player, great player. I hear that these pundits on BT and Sky calling people great players when they've only had 2 decent games. So, it's well overused, that phrase. But
What about when they call people world class? Everyone's world class.
But forget about that. Forget about that. The people who are tracking the plane, I'll tell you something. You need to be tracked yourselves, because you're going to be on some sort of register somewhere. Seriously, you've got problems.
Did you see the breakdown of that? People were talking about clouds and trees.
Yeah. I say something, right? You are the men who go around with a Mac, right? With no trousers on, and you got your what's name, your binoculars. You're dangerous people. Stay away from built up areas. They're not like these people. Lacazette, what are we gonna do with him?
I'd keep him personally.
Based on what?
Based on I like what he brings to the team when he's on his game. I mean, I know that he's had dips in form over the course of the season, but I think that when he drops deep and he links the play between the midfield and our forward players, I think, take that out. Who's going to do that for us? I'm not convinced that Aubameyang wants to play down the middle, personally.
He can't play down the middle. Aubameyang not play down the middle.
Right, so if you take Lacazette out of the equation, who's going to go down the middle? And Nketiah is not ready to play there. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I like Nketiah. I think there's potential there, but I'm not. The jury's still out on him for me personally.
He's not ready, is he? He's not ready yet.
He's not ready.
So you're going to go get rid of Laka for what? 25, 30 mil. Are you going to go and get to replace him for that sort of money?
Yeah,
Celtic centre forward, isn't it?
Well, that's the one that we're being linked with the most. But
exactly. Who knows what the truth is?
He's going to come from the Scottish League. We know the difference. Yeah, is he going to hit the ground running? It's debatable. For me, Lacazette, he's spoken. He said that he wants to stay at the club. Him and Aubameyang have got a great relationship. And I think that on his day, he's proven that he's a match winner for us on his day. Yes, he's had his ups and downs over the course of the season, but I think it's about, Arteta putting his arm around him and trying to get the best out of him, because I think, there's not many players out there in the world that we can go and him with right now.
What I would say about Celtic striker, he is a sort of player that wants goals. I don't feel Lacazette wants enough goals.
Really?
He doesn't want enough goals. He wants to be that player that gets on the ball. Like, Liverpool fans praise Firmino and that. Obviously, Firmino does it to a better standards. But Lacazette is not that. Like, you need to be scoring goals. Goals is what's going to get us back in the Champions League. And if it's just Aubameyang that's scoring goals, it's not going to happen. So I'm not going to settle for, he's going to link up play and everything. If we need to sell him and go and get Edouard, then fair dues. Because I know he will get 10 to 15 goals.
Mate, you could go and get Edouard and Missy Simpson and they've got more goals than Lacazette, right? For me, right? Lacazette, listen, the guy's come from scoring 41 goals in France, right? Highest goal return in England, 14. 14. He went 2 years without getting away goal.
But you see, that comes down to playing under Wenger and thing. It's demands. Football's about demands and setting standards.
It's not. I say a point that you lot said about Pepe, right? That he's really good and he's playing in a bad team. I'll say something, right? If I was really good and I was playing in a bad team, I'd got even better.
It's not always that easy, though. It's not always that easy.
In theory, that makes sense, but in the reality, it doesn't work out like that, Sonny.
Maybe.
Sometimes the standard of player, sometimes the standard of player brings you down to that sort of level of football. Do you understand? Sometimes it can elevate you and you can look it can make you look a better player, but not all the time. Sometimes it brings your standard down when you play with lesser players.
Oh, you know what? Michelle Schwartz, you know what? Danny Ings, is he better than Lacazette? Or is it unpopular?
If you're going to go on recent form, then Danny Ings is by far and away a better striker right now than Lacazette.
It is technically, like ability-wise, they're not. But what Ings has is that determination that strikers need to have, which is to go and get goals. And as I just said before, Lacazette hasn't got that willingness to go and get goals. It's like Martial as well. When Oli first came in, he's telling like, listen, you've got to be getting in that box. You can't always be outside the box. The striker needs to be in the box. Otherwise, you don't score goals. Like there's times when he's coming deep, way too deep. Even against the Chelsea game, he came so deep. He was deeper than the midfielders, and he cost us a goal. You need to be in the box, getting us goals.
I can think of 3 times last season that Lacazette was on the edge of our box and he's playing the ball backwards and we're conceding. You know, he's playing some trouble.
If we hit like 10 crosses in a game, there's more chance Ings to get at the end of them than Lacazette, and that's where we are.
Yeah, the thing is, Lacazette, right? If you're not scoring, you need to be doing something, right? You need to be assisting, right? You need to be assisting at least. You need to be in tune with your strike partner, right? I don't think they work as a pair at all, right? I think they're too different. Everyone's saying Bangman should play down the middle. The geezer can't hold up the ball.
I don't think he wants to play down the middle.
He can't head up.
He wants to play there. I don't think he wants to play. He looks so unhappy when he plays there. He looks so unhappy and out of his depth in that position. He needs to play out wide. Yeah, that is the perfect position for him.
Don't go to a cliche with Lacazette. You could say he scores great goals, but he's not a great goal scorer.
No, he don't. Yeah, I actually know great goals and scores.
Oh, the strike against Sonny, come on, the strike against Tottenham.
Okay, all right, it's been in 3 years. Name me 5.
He does score great goals, Sonny.
It's been in 3 years. I'll give you the whole 3 years, bro. 3 years, I'll give you. Name me 5.
Spurs away.
Spurs away. Which goal was that? Which goal was that?
The first one when he whacked it in the roof of the net from about.
When he was standing in the 6-yard box when he done it, yeah?
No, but that's not easy.
Come on.
That's not easy to do, Sonny. And get onto
It's not easy to do.
That's not easy to do.
Bruv, you stick a blind man playing darts, right in front of dartboard. I'll tell you something. You'll get triple 20 at one time.
He scores great goals. He does.
Great goals.
He does score great goals.
I think I think his temperament lets him down quite a lot. I think that he's one of those players that will tend to get very sulky if things don't go his way. And
he's a fancy damn Ponce, to be honest with you. He's a fancy damn Ponce, bruv.
It affects his game, and I think that's been a lot of the problems why, even under Wenger left him out a lot of the games because his temperament and his attitude stinks at times. You can see that. I think
him and the Bangman spend more time practicing their celebration than he does practicing finishing. Listen, a Bangman can do all that foolishness because he brings the numbers, I'll tell you something, right? If they're both salesmen, right, and a Bangman was bringing the numbers and Lacazette just had a nice suit, I'll take him. That's what he is. He's a nice suit.
So who would you replace him with, Sonny?
You know what, Juna, you know what, you're a prick, and I don't do drugs, bruv, and you don't know me, so stupid comment.
Stupid comment.
It's inbred, isn't it?
Who would you have then, Sonny? Go on, who would you put in instead of Lacazette?
So Lacazette, I'll tell you, right? I'll tell you, it's not going to be very popular, right? Not going to be very popular at all. Tammy Abrams. I'll go Tammy Abrams. I'll say why. I'll say why. He's tall. He's strong. He can take people on. He just needs to refine his game. I don't think that kid's a bad player.
If you're gonna take Tammy,
bro, he's not a player I'll take. He's not obviously not. We've got the whole of Europe to look at. All the best. He's not a player I'll take. But if I went for a wild card, right? If I went for a wild card, that kid could cause problems. He's quick as well. And I think
not realistic, though, is it, Sonny? We're not going to get him, are we? It's not realistic.
No, we're not. But I'm not Edu, and I'm not the one of the scouts that just sacked either.
I'd rather put Partey up there.
Would we get him if Sonny comes calling? That's what I want to know.
You know what? I'll say something, right? If I was head of recruitment at the Emirates, No one would work there. None of them. Not people that say the program won't work there. People say in the army won't work there. There won't be no players working there. I'll say the whole fucking place, right? The whole place, right? And then I'll start again. Because far as I'm concerned, right? What? Listen, don't forget, Arsenal, they've had the catalyst for change. Then they've had the catalyst converter. Then they had the upgrade. They've got it wrong. Since Wenger went, since Wenger went and they kept him for 2 years too long. Forget about the other 10, but they kept him for 2 years too long when they were looking for someone. And then they got it wrong and they got it wrong again. You know?
Mel, what about you, Mel?
What about
Laka?
What? Sorry. Jack?
Would you replace him? Would you replace Laka?
Yeah, I would replace him. I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah, definitely I'd replace him. Yeah, definitely. So I think, like I said, we can get actually money for him. You've got 29, 30. He ain't going to get any better. I know that he had a great season.
Cavalier was as well.
You don't know, but I would sell him. Yeah, I think there's a chance to get other players like that. Perhaps not as good at this minute in time, but younger, 22, 3-year-olds that can actually make the grade.
What do you mean this good? I see something. You put Nketiah in there, who I don't rate personally, right? I just think the kid's fast and hungry, right? Rocky Balboa. That means he's gonna beat Mike Tyson, though, right? He's fast and hungry, but the thing is, he'll score more than 40 goals in a season. He'll score more goals than Lacazette in a season, in my opinion. Just for his tenaciousness.
Definitely. But he's hungry for goals. That's what it comes down to. It's all about being hungry for goals.
But is it level for Arsenal? No, it's not.
For me, if Martinelli was not going to be injured, I would actually stick him up top. Because when you look at it, Chelsea got into the top 4 with a Tammy that scored, 15 goals? And I think 7 of those was in the first 3 games. Can you tell me Martinelli cannot do that as well?
100%.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Mate, I rate Martinelli very highly, right? And you know what? The games he played, he looked razor sharp. I see you saying. The geezer. I was sitting near the front. He ran past me. He showed me half the ear off. He was that sharp, right?
He's unbelievable. He would be for me if he was fit and ready to go. He would be the one to come in and replace Laka. 100%.
Yeah,
he's an absolute. He's just quality. He's absolutely quality.
And you know what? I think forward as well on a football pitch, right? It's probably one of the easiest positions to play, right? I think it's the easiest position to play. You don't run around a lot, right? Especially if you're a target man, right? You don't run around a lot. You lay it off. Giroud did have no pace, right? I say he could do a little flick and trip though, and bring someone in, right? That was his speciality, even though he couldn't score himself with lamppost. But that's besides the point.
But Martinelli breaks that mold because he is non-stop. He is absolutely non-stop. He doesn't stop from the first minute to the last, and that's what I love about him.
Yeah, Martinelli. He's got skill. He's got Alexis Sanchez's hunger, right? But he ain't got the dog shot on his drive, right? All day long, I'll have him.
He reminds me of Sanchez, the way he chases back and all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's Sanchez. He ain't got a dog shot on his drive.
I just think that this kid could be anything he wants to be, really.
I mean, when you've got the likes of Ronaldinho and all these top Brazilian players coming out and saying that he's ready to play in that first team for the Brazil, then you know. Yeah, these guys know their football. They know players. And when they're coming out and talking about this young kid who's had one season at Arsenal in a poor side, then you know this kid's special.
Gabriel Jesus didn't even get that.
I don't need to listen to Ronaldinho to know what my eyes are telling me. If fucking Ronald McDonald told me he was fucking special, I'd know. You know? And he's got big red shoes and big hair. You know? You don't need these players to come out and say it. We can see it ourselves. Because people say that fans don't know football. I'll tell you something, right? Fans know football better than a lot of the people who are actually in football. Right? You don't have to play to their standards to know a game. Right? You know, you can see, you can read things, you know. So who we going for up front, boys? Who we going for? Bournemouth have just gone down. They got a couple of decent strikers there. Callum Wilson. All day long. Right? Troy Deeney. No, sorry, no, not you.
A lot of fans will admit it. A lot of fans will admit it that another striker could come in, like the likes of Wilson, and do a better job than Lacazette, because we're all sold on the idea from when we first bought him that he was going to be an exceptional striker. But listen, sometimes it doesn't work out, and you have to hold your hands up and just say, you know what, he's got ability, but he's just not it.
It's a stupid buy, man. It's a stupid buy. I'll tell you why. It's a stupid buy. There's no point in having two top-notch strikers, apparently, right? If you ain't got no one to give him the fucking ball. No point. What's the point? It's like putting the kit in the car and you got no banger. What's the point?
Listen, you know? it says a lot that you go and buy two strikers in the same season that both over 50 mil. It says a lot. So
and then in the meantime, they're losing Riziki, they're losing Chizola, they're losing Wilshere, they're losing all them players they're using Nazik, all them players who used to play the ticky-tacky football, you know, when we had them in midfield. We ain't got that no more. We've got second-rate midfielders.
Mm-hmm.
If any of these midfielders were in the park, right?
Yeah, but I think we can all agree. We can all agree that the club was in absolute disarray at that time. You know, the people that were running the club then, it was an absolute shamble. It really was. So you know,
that's what it comes down to. He's just a prick. He's just there for the money. He's just a prick.
Who's that? Who?
Ivan Gazidis. He's just a prick.
Ivan Gazidis wasn't one going out and scouting players. It was Wenger with a stat DNA shit, and then they got what's his name in Abba, right? What's his name?
Sven.
Yeah,
Sven
look like he's out Abba with a hairy chest. They got him.
He's the one that hires these players.
He was stat DNA as well. He was stat DNA, and then we got Raul Ford with black book of contacts. He only had one number in there, so one agent with black book. He had one number in his whole book, right? You know, he used to go to the shop and say, "Can I have an out-of-date diary from last year?" He didn't need it, so he got it cheap. He's a clever guy, right? So for me, I think if we're gonna, we need someone. We need a target man. But we need a target man with a bit of pace, and it's not. You know what? If I was Arteta, right, and Lacazette was not impacting the game. So he kept dropping back because his midfield have been shit. I'll get a little string on him and I'll keep pulling him back until he stays where he should be. Your force should not be coming back.
The thing is, I'm not sure that Arteta is looking for a target man sort of player though. This is the thing. I don't think that fits Arteta's profile of what he wants for Arsenal. That sort of player. He wants technical players. You know, he's not looking for a big target man. So yeah, I agree with you to an extent on Tammy. For the best part of half, he had a wonderful start to the season. And to be honest with you, I wrote him off before the season started. I said, if Chelsea are going to rely on Tammy Abraham to get him into the Champions League, they got no chance. Well, he proved me wrong. So I'll give him the utmost respect for that. Yeah.
He didn't
No, listen. After that, bruv, they killed him with the racism, and it killed his game.
Listen, he didn't exactly. I don't think Tammy had an exceptional season.
Not exceptional season. I mean, up to a point, he done well.
I think it's just stats padded. Like it's when you look at the games he scored in, how he scored. Like the first 3-4 games, he scored 7, and then he went on a goal drought. Then after lockdown, he kind of picked it up. Like he didn't have a great season.
Kesh, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that I rate Tammy Abraham because I'm not a big fan of him. All I'm saying is that before the season, I completely wrote him off. And for the first 3, 4, 5 months of the season, he done really well for Chelsea. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm sitting here and I rate him highly. He's a player that we should go for because me as an Arsenal fan, I'd never like to see Tammy Abraham in an Arsenal team. Because I just don't think that he's at that level to play for Arsenal, personally.
No, I don't either. But I pulled out something from. I pulled out something from the Arsenal pick going and buying someone, right? Because Arsenal won't go and buy a Mbappe, would they? They'll go and buy someone you really wouldn't expect. And that's something, right? Bro. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, Edouard in Celtic. He's got a lovely name. Edouard sounds sexy, right? He could probably do like salsa and all that, right? But it don't mean, right, he's come from Scottish football, he's going to be any better than Tammy Abraham, who's playing in the Premier League.
Sonny.
What about Raul Jimenez?
When you watch Edouard, he passes the eye test. That's the thing. We can't always. Sometimes
I've never seen him, bro. I've never seen him.
It don't always comes down to just stats. You have to watch the player. He passes the eye test when it talks.
Right, you know what? The reason I've never seen him is because Arsenal pissed me off so much, right? I didn't want to watch no football apart from Arsenal, right? Didn't want to watch it. I hated football because Arsenal was so shit. And if Arsenal was shit, I don't like football. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like going to a shit party, but the music's good. You can stand there on your own, go like that. You ain't got ya.
I don't think any of the top 6 teams wants a target man. I think what Arteta wants is someone who's got all-round game. Like when you look at the likes of Martial, his hold-up play is exceptional. Like it sticks to him, and he can go the other way. Like he can take his man on. I think that's the sort of profile that we will be looking for.
Guys, exciting news. We've got a new PR person who shouts at our channel, and he's got a new PR person who shouts at his channel, right? Because when you do other people's work, you try and do it with a bit of care, right? When you try to fix your own car, you try and rush it. When you try to put your own shelf, it's bent. But when you try to look after a friend, right? You try and take a bit of care with them, right? You try to do it with a bit of love. So do me a favour, guys. Let's shout out a couple of channels. Arsenal Realist is going to be doing a lot of work with us. We're going to be doing a lot of collabs with Arsenal Realist. You know what? If we win the Champions League in 3 years' time, Arsenal Realist might take his mask off. You never know, right? It might be a completely different. You never know what Champions League could do. You know. So Arsenal Realist, go check out his channel. It's called Arsenal Realist. Go check out his channel. It's a new channel, right? And also, any person who subscribed before. Where are you? Go subscribe again. Because the thing is, guys, everyone misses this point, right? The amount of subscribers defines, and the amount of watches you get, and how long they watch for, and people hitting the likes defines, right? YouTube picking your particular video out to promote, and it comes up in people's search engines. That's how important it is to hit that subscribe button and to hit the like button as well, right? So please do that for the Arsenal Realist. Do that for Lavandra's Lounge as well, right? Because they're going to be doing a lot with us. And you know, do it for this one, right? Because you know, if you don't, honestly, there's no point in watching it because you're not helping us, right? And this will happen to you. For good people, it's going to be filled with money, so you'll be all right. No. But listen, subscribe to our channel because, like I said, as soon as you hit that like, the YouTube algorithm has changed. As soon as you hit that subscribe, all of a sudden, people take notice of you, right? We could draw more prestigious guests on. We could get footballers on, you know. Yeah, I saw David Lille the other day. I saw Kevin Campbell this morning. You know, we'll get these guys on again. You know, Nigel Winterburn's been on the show. No, but they're not going to come on if our numbers are low, and if really numbers are low, and the people we support. And you know what? The reason we're all shouting at each other is because you know I want to choose who we work with as a community, right? Because I don't want to work with the same people we work with everyone else because then it's always going to be the same channel, and I want us to be unique. We want us to be special, right? So go support Arsenal Realist, go support us. And hit that. And if you haven't hit that like button, go and hit it now, please, if you don't mind. You know what? So you know what? We've got this done squad, right? I want some predictions off you guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of season we're going to have? And you know what? Our Arsenal back in what's the name? Arteta. Has Kroenke released this money from the Emirates deal what was tied in, right? And given Arteta, because Arteta's saying, as far as I'm concerned, Arteta winning that FA Cup, that guy could go and write his contract for the next 10 years, as far as I'm concerned. I've never been a fanboy of anybody, but you know what? If Arteta doesn't win the league and Arteta doesn't compete, right? As long as this geezer is doing things the right way, right? He's saying the right things, he's doing things the right way, then it's not his fuck up, it's the players. Right? And he's not responsible for every player. For instance, you're not always responsible for your kids when your kids are at school. That's what teachers then, right? So let's not praise Arteta for everything, and let's not kill Arteta for everything as well, right? Let's keep balance. Let's keep balanced view.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from someone who's the worst unbalanced person in the world, but let's keep balanced view. I'll go to you first, Kesh. No, let's go Melvin first. Let's go Melvin first. Melvin, how do you see our transfer window going? Right. I mean, for instance, we've been offered Thomas Lamar, a player we apparently bidding 90 million for a couple of seasons ago, right? As a swap deal for Lacazette, you know, he hasn't been putting up trees, right? Yeah, we don't need him. We don't need wingers, right? So, where do you see our seasons going? Where do you see our seasons going? If we only manage to bring in, especially if we only manage to bring in Gabriel.
No good. I think I don't think we do much at all next year if we don't sort out the midfield. You have the best forwards in the world, the best defence in the world. Don't combine them with a decent midfield, then we'll just basically be a glorified team from last year. We'll be slightly better. And I tell you what, at some stage we go downhill because you can't play with no midfield. It's impossible. So if we get the midfield right, get one or two in, I think we'll have a very good season. I think we'll be top four, I really do. If we don't, we could be 8, 9, 10.
You know what? If they're not going to go and get these sexy signings, right? These Coutinho's, the Aguilar, whatever his name is, right? And Partey, just go get Decore, man. Just go get Decore. The guy's trying to run out of Watford. They'll be ready to go. They're holding back from his jacket. He wants to get out. You know, guys, what do you do?
I'm quite confident that Arteta will get the players and targets that he wants. I'm quite confident in that. I think that we've seen he's exuded confidence since the FA Cup win, and I think that there was discussions behind closed doors prior to the FA Cup. Assurances were made. If you win that, you qualify for Europe next season. There's going to be funds at your disposal, and we'll do everything we can to get you the targets that you want. And I don't think there's anything that's come out recently that proves any different to that. Yeah, the deals have dragged on. Gabriel's dragged on a bit, but we know that there's other circumstances to that. Yeah, the announcing of Aubameyang dragged on a little bit, but I'm quietly confident that Arteta will get what he wants, and if he does, I think we'll have a pretty decent season. I think we can challenge for the top four if he does get the players that he wants.
I'll tell you something. There's no excuses. None. Right? But I'll tell you something. We was waiting for Wilson to sign a contract. We was waiting for Ramsey to sign a contract, right? I ain't bothered that they're gone. I'm just saying. We was waiting for things that we was expecting, right? Yeah. Val said if it's when Arsenal knocks, it's a different knock. You know, and then you know, it's a different knock because he's got his fucking striped suit on. You at prison. You know what I mean? He's gone. He's gone. So the person who's Arsenal's chief negotiator is gone, right? And if Arsenal don't get the targets, sorry, nothing's changed for me. Nothing's changed. Melvin, I'm sorry. If Arsenal was a supermarket, what would they be? They wouldn't be a supermarket. They'd be that little Turkish shop, big grocers, mate.
That'd be Morrison's. Buy one, get one free.
There'd be that Turkish shop who's open 24 hours a day. There's one just down the road. It's handy for me because if we need milk and it's gone off in 4 o'clock in the morning, cool. But we won't be at that level calling ourselves a supermarket. We'll be that greengrocer. So guys, seriously, Kesh, can you see Arsenal winning the target? And if they don't, what would your attitude be?
I do think we'll get our targets. I just think it's just a matter of when. If we don't, then I'm going to be totally disappointed, and it's just going to be the same old Arsenal, and it can't continue. I don't think it will continue because I feel like we've got someone who's actually been here, and as I keep saying on all the podcasts, he's won for us, he's fought for us, he's bled for us, and it must pain him not seeing us being where we used to be. You can't have played for the club and not feel the same way. Like,
I don't agree, you know. I don't agree. I I don't. I think when you're in that environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I think, and you shoulder a part of the blame. I don't think you hurt as much as the supporter does, who can't do nothing about it. Because you pick up your wages. You've gone home. You put your feet in your swimming pool, and you know. I don't think they hurt like we do.
Of course not. But what I'm saying is, you must have some sort of emotional attachment.
I think he's proved that already. Personally, I think that Arteta was waiting for his opportunity, and he saw a club that was crying out for someone that loved Arsenal Football Club like he does. And I think since Wenger left, we were crying out for somebody that loved Arsenal Football Club and wanted to put Arsenal back where we deserve to be. And I think we've got a manager that wants to do that.
In fact,
sorry, mate.
even when he played for us, you can see sometimes when we lost, he was the most hurt player on that pitch.
Really, do us a favour. What's happening if you want to come on? Yeah, because we're going to finish very soon as well. What's happening if you want to come on, though? Because I don't want to put the link in the stream because all of a sudden everyone's going to jump on. So
yeah, because I need to go in a minute, guys. Anyway,
right. Right. Do you know what? If you need when you're timed up and you need to go, that's cool. Because we've dragged on for longer than we usually do, right? And I'm not paying you overtime, right? But right. Whenever you do go, you've been brilliant tonight. You've been brilliant tonight, and you're the type of person. Not you, but you're the type of person we want on the stream. No, not really. We want you, right? So whenever you want to come on, bro, I'll be calling you anyway. But I always want you, people who know Arsenal, people who feel Arsenal, right? And people who talk proper football like yourself, Wayne. Always welcome on the channel. And
nice
that's Wayne is an example to everybody out there. Wayne is an example to everybody. He's never been on the channel before. He said, you know what, let me come on. He's come on and he's like natural. He's like Richard Keys without the hairy arms. You know?
Cheers, Sonny. Much appreciated. I've enjoyed it, mate. It's been quality.
And you know what, and when we go throughout the system, when we go throughout the season, it's going to get better and better and better. And like I said, anyone who's got any content ideas, what I'm looking for, right, especially, is someone who could go and do a proper tactical breakdown. I mean, a proper tactical breakdown, right? I don't care if you use oranges and lemons to do it, right? I don't care what you use, right? But I want a proper tactical breakdown.
Sounds good.
I've run out of candles. I mean, look, it's getting dark. I've run out of candles, mate.
We're going to finish then, right? But let's finish on this question. What's the meaning of life? No, we're not finishing that question. Would you have taken Upper McCartney for 70 million instead of Pepe and Saliba? Do we spend credit? No. You know what? I said something. When we signed Aubameyang, I turned around and said we shouldn't sign Aubameyang, we should sign a defender. And I still stick by that conviction because I said something. We had enough goals in the team with Walcott and Giroud at the time. We didn't need Aubameyang. All what's happened is we've got an unbalanced team, and goals only come from one place. Right? And so for me, that's not good enough.
And that's another reason why we need to address that midfield area, because we need to start scoring goals from midfield again, because that has been lacking for a long time. I mean, you know, I wasn't the biggest Aaron Ramsey fan. I acknowledged what he was good at, but I also acknowledged the things that let him down as a footballer, i.e. his pace. He had a lack of pace, killed him as a player. But he gave us goals from midfield, and we have been lacking that for a long time. So that's an area that is imperative that we need to address, because we can't just rely on over every week.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's a come time he might go through a drought. You know, he might do.
True.
Melvin, give your closing words, because we're all going now.
We're all going to go. I think we got a bit of hope. I really have got a bit of hope. I know I said if we don't do it, but I think we will do it. I think we will get those midfields sorted out to a degree, and I think we'll have a reasonable season, more than reasonable season. I'm very, very hopeful for it all.
I agree. Good note to finish on, Mel.
I agree totally with Melvin. I think we just have to be patient. I know we're always being patient, but I feel like this time it will be better for us.
Do you know what? I want to finish on one thing because I want to finish on what Arsenal fans are all about, the Wally ones, right? And I want to highlight this guy here, this guy. The guy who comes on without a face, and just a what's name, a stupid name, and just criticises, right? Bro, you're the guy who's bullied at school, right? You're the guy who's bullied at school. You're the guy who's got no confidence, yeah? You're the guy who can't go in front of the camera, right? You're the guy who still wets the bed, yeah? You're the guy who can't pull girls. You're that guy, right? You're the guy who's got acne, got spots, right? You can't do nothing about them. So, listen, check yourself, right? Come on the channel as yourself, right? Make some valid points to say why we're wrong, and then take the piss when you prove us wrong. Don't just come and spam in the comments because all you're doing is you're making yourself look stupid, right? You had 2 minutes of fame. If you carry on, you won't be here for the rest of the season, and you won't be missed this call.
Sonny, you're giving him too much airtime, bro. Forget about them people.
Yeah, right. Well,
Sonny,
listen, Melv, Kesh, it's been a pleasure, man. We'll catch up very, very soon.
Enjoyed it, Wayne.
Sonny,
enjoyed it.
Quality. Sonny, nice one.
I wish I could some more of a debrief.
Nice one, guys.
Sonny, the goal said to read the super chat.
I haven't seen one. Hang on. There it is. Chris P. Surprised you don't read your super chats, dude. Bro, I didn't see it. You know what though? As much as we appreciate super chats as we do, because obviously it's revenue for us, and without revenue you can't do sod all, right? We appreciate every comment. From people who want to put comments about football. And we appreciate every subscriber as well. And that's why we allow all subscribers on the channel. And we're going to finish off by saying to everybody, everyone is welcome on the same TV Arsenal if you want to talk football, right? Even if you don't support Arsenal. If you support Spurs, you ain't got a chance in hell. But if you want to come on and you want to talk football, you're welcome to come on. All you need to do is subscribe or follow me on Twitter and then subscribe. And then we'll get you on, guys. And because the difference in this channel is it will never get boring because there will always be different people on there. Yeah. Right. Please subscribe to Lavandra's Lounge. Please, I'm going to put links in all the descriptions. Please subscribe to the Arsenal Realist. And please subscribe to Sonny TV Arsenal. You know what? We're going to come back tomorrow. Probably we'll do a segment tomorrow. Yeah, it's a countdown to the season's curtain opener against Liverpool. And you know what? It'll be a good test for us to see how we're going to go. But you know what? Let's not get twisted. There's still work to do at Arsenal, but at the moment we've got specialists. We've got specialists in charge. So it's positive times. So Sonny TV Arsenal. Please subscribe, like, and share. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend, the one that always talks too much and gossips, tell a friend, right? Say to the Arsenal, big up to everybody in the comments, big up to the Facebook pages what was watching, big up to the guys on the stream. But please, if you don't mind, just before you go, hit the like button, because, well, if you don't like it, hit the dislike button, that's cool as well. And leave us your comments, yeah? Say to the Arsenal, subscribe if you hate Tottenham. Subscribe if you hate Tottenham. Subscribe if you hate Tottenham. And if you don't subscribe, you do like Tottenham. And we don't want you in it. Right? Say TV Arsenal. Like, subscribe, share. We're out of here. Later on, people.